Hello, and welcome to Timeless Tales with the Monterey Public Library. My name is Ellie, and today I'm going to tell you the story of the Gunniwolf. And the story of the Gunniwolf comes from the southeastern part of the United States of America, though there are stories like it told all over the world, because that's how stories work. Somebody tells a story, and someone else takes that story and goes and tells it again in a new place. And then someone else takes it and tells it again, and again and again, and every time it's told, changes a little bit as people make it their own. And that's how you get versions of the same story or very similar stories told all around the world. And that's one way that stories connect us, is our stories bring us together. Today's story, The Gunniwolf, starts like this. Once there was a little girl who lived in a house with her mother by the edge of the deep dark woods. And they had a happy life there together. There was one important rule. The mother would say to the little girl, "Now remember, little girl, you must never ever go into the forest alone, or else the Gunniwolf might get you." And the little girl was very, very sure that she would never go into the forest alone. She did not want to meet the Gunniwolf. And one day, the mother had to go away for a little while. And she said to the little girl, as she was about to leave, she said, "Now remember, do not go into the forest alone." And the little girl promised, oh no, she would stay right there. And so she did. She played in the yard, and she noticed some beautiful white flowers growing in their garden, and she thought, oh, I'll just pick some of these flowers, and then I'll have a lovely bouquet for my mother when she gets back. So she started picking the flowers, and as she picked, she sang a little song to herself. Cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua. And as she was picking, she looked up and she saw some lovely yellow flowers there just on the edge of the forest. And she thought, oh, I'll just go and pick those and add them to my bouquet. So she skipped over to the yellow flowers and she started picking them. And all the while singing her little song. Cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua. Till she had a nice bunch of flowers. And she looked up from them, and there, a little ways into the woods, were the most wonderful pink flowers she'd ever seen. And she thought, oh, I'll just go a little way into the wood. Wouldn't those flowers be wonderful for my bouquet? So she skipped along into the wood, and she picked her pink flowers, singing her song. Cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua. And now she had her white and her yellow and her pink flowers in her arms, and she thought, how lovely. Then her eyes lit on some simply beautiful orange flowers deep in the middle of the woods. And she thought, I simply must have those for my bouquet. So she skipped on into the woods, all into the middle of the woods, and she picked her flowers, singing, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua. And as she was singing, up rose the Gunniwolf. And he looked at her and he said, "Little girl, why for you move?" And the little girl said, "I no move." And the Gunniwolf said, "Then you sing that good and sweet and song again." And so the little girl, she was very frightened, but she began her song. Cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua. And that Gunniwolf, he nodded, and he nodded, and he fell asleep. Oh, so away ran the little girl as fast as ever she could, pit-pat, 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 through the forest. And then the Gunniwolf woke up, hunker-cha, 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 until he caught up with her. And he said, "Little girl, why for you move?" And the little girl said, "I no move." And he said, "Oh, then you sing that good and sweet and song again." So she sang, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua, cum-a-quee, cum-a-qua. And that old Gunniwolf, he nodded, and he nodded, and he fell asleep again. Ooh, so that little girl, she ran, pit-pat, 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 pit-pat through the woods. But then the Gunniwolf woke up, and he ran after her. Hunker-cha, 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 pit-pat, 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 hunker-cha, 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 pit-pat, pit-pat, hunker-cha, hunker-cha, until he caught up with her. And he said, "Little girl, why for you move?" I know, Wolf. Then you sing that good and sweet and song again. So she sang. Cum-quee, cum-qua, cum-quee, cum-qua. Until the Gunniwolf nodded his head and fell fast asleep. So that little girl, she ran, pit-pat, 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 till she ran past the orange flowers, pit-pat, 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 pit, till she ran past the pink flowers that were just inside the wood, pit-pat, 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 pit, and she ran past the yellow flowers that were right there at the edge of the wood, pit-pat, 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 pit, and she ran right past those white flowers in her own garden, pit-pat, pit-pat, pit, and right into her own door. She closed it behind her. Whew. And believe you me when I tell you that little girl never went into the woods by herself again. So there's an old story, The Gunniwolf. There are a lot of good places to find stories like this. We'll be back again next week with another folk tale from somewhere else in the world. But in the meantime, I suggest that you visit your local public library. If you're in the Monterey area, that's monterey.org/library, and look for the ebooks and the audiobook selections. Great one for children that we have in Monterey is the Tumble Books. They read stories out loud. So go to the monterey.org/library and look for the children's ebooks, and you'll find Tumble Books. It's a good place to find some good stories if you can't wait until next week. So in the meantime, be well, be safe, be happy, tell each other your stories. This is Timeless Tales of the Monterey Public Library. We'll see you next time.